Pleiadian Jupiter. If your natal Jupiter is conjunct the Pleiades, your soul healer frequency amplifies your capacity for growth and wisdom, likely at max volume. Your Pleiadian Jupiter combines the soul healer's innate optimism with Jupiter's power of abundance, philosophy, and expansion, creating someone whose faith and enthusiasm can literally lift entire communities into higher consciousness. This placement is especially powerful for teaching, sharing wisdom, and inspiring others to believe in possibilities. But watch that Pleiadian pattern of expanding so much for others that you lose yourself in the process. Or just throwing all of your beautiful star codes at someone at the same time like a cosmic glitter bomb. Hey, I'm Kellie, and before we dive into the 12 astrological houses, let's touch on some of the strengths and challenges associated with your Pleiadian Jupiter. Pleiadian Jupiter strengths. Your natural optimism and faith are genuinely contagious. People feel more hopeful and expansive just being in your presence. You're a natural teacher and philosopher. You synthesize wisdom from diverse sources and share it in accessible, uplifting ways that empower others. You attract opportunities to serve on larger scales. Your enthusiasm and genuine care for the collective well-being can magnetize platforms, resources, and audiences. Pleiadian Jupiter integration challenges. Overextending in your service role, as in saying yes to too many opportunities to help, teach, or expand your mission until you're depleted and scattered. Naive optimism about others, believing in everyone's highest potential so strongly that you miss red flags or ignore genuine incompatibility. Excessive responsibility for collective growth, such as taking on too much weight for humanity's evolution rather than trusting others to do their own work. Pleiadian Jupiter through the houses. First house, your presence amplifies the energies around you, and your optimism is infectious. People feel more hopeful and joyful just being near you, as you naturally see the biggest, brightest potential in everyone. The challenge? Your optimism can be overwhelming for those in pessimistic states or governed by so-called realistic parameters. Not everyone is ready for expansion. Some people need to build evidence and momentum through practical experiences. Second house, money flows when you're in service and aligned with your values. You believe abundance is meant to be shared, and you give generously. Shadow side, overgiving financially because you trust more will come, or using money to expand others' lives while neglecting your own security. Practical planning protects your ability to give long-term. Third house, you communicate ideas that expand minds and possibilities. You're the enthusiastic teacher who makes everyone believe they can learn anything. Conversations with you feel limitless. Ideas flow, connections spark, and joy bubbles up naturally. The trap? Overwhelming others with too much information, too much enthusiasm, or too much possibility. Not every insight needs to be shared all at once. Fourth house, home feels expansive, joyful, and filled with possibility. You create family environments where everyone is encouraged to embody and express their full potential. You share your unwavering faith with family members and encourage them to reach higher. The challenge is using optimism to bypass difficult family emotions or focusing so much on others' growth that you neglect your own foundation. Even joy needs grounding. Fifth house. Your creativity, romance, and playfulness are extra. You don't do anything halfway. When you create big. When you love completely. And when you play, you go all in. This is beautiful and exhausting for more reserved people. The lesson? Not every moment needs to be peak joy. Sustainable pleasure includes rest, quiet, and sometimes just existing without increased energy output. Sixth house. You grow through service. The more you give, the more capacity you seem to have. Your work often involves teaching, healing, or helping others access their own potential. You believe work should be joyful and growth-oriented. The shadow side? Expanding your commitments beyond sustainable limits because you genuinely believe you can handle it all. You're not infinite, and burnout doesn't care about your optimism. Seventh house, you attract partners that grow, teach, and inspire. You see your partner's highest potential and believe in them completely. You bring joy, hope, and possibility to relationships. The challenge is loving someone's potential instead of their reality, or staying in relationships that have outgrown their purpose because you keep seeing new possibilities. Sometimes relationships end not because of failure, but because the growth leads in different directions. Eighth house, you grow through transformational work, taking deep dives with faith and optimism. You help others see possibility, even in their darkest moments, and intimacy feels like spiritual expansion with you. Shadow work becomes an adventure. The trap? Spiritually bypassing the intensity, as in jumping to the lesson before fully feeling the pain. Sometimes transformation requires sitting in the dark long enough to truly see what's there. Ninth house, you're a natural teacher, philosopher, and believer in humanity's highest potential. You expand consciousness through education, travel, spiritual practice, or sharing wisdom. Your faith in evolution is unshakable. The challenge is assuming everyone shares your hunger for expansion or overwhelming students with too much too fast. Wisdom includes knowing when to pause and let integration happen. 10th house, you're professionally known for your optimism, teaching ability, or capacity to help others reach higher potentials. Your career likely involves teaching personal development, inspiring others towards their goals, or demonstrating what's possible. Just ensure that your public presence doesn't require unsustainable optimism. You're allowed to have realistic or difficult moments too. 11th house, you expand into and through collective consciousness. Your vision for what communities, movements, or humanity could become inspires others to lean into their full potential. Your expanded thinking energizes groups towards higher ideals and higher shared goals. The lesson: sustainable change happens incrementally. Your expansive vision is needed, but so is patience with the pace of collective evolution. Not everyone moves at growth junkie speed. 12th house, your faith connects you with something infinite and universal. You expand spiritually by accessing realms of consciousness beyond ordinary awareness. Your optimism about humanity's spiritual evolution borders on mystical knowing. The challenge is staying grounded while accessing infinite possibility. Spiritual expansion needs practical integration. Now let's look at some practical ways for you to work with and integrate your Pleiadian Jupiter. Similar to the Pleiadian Mercury exercise, we want to help you build some awareness and self-regulation around helpful ways to express your Pleiadian Jupiter without overstepping. Building awareness practice. Here are a few new filters to work with that may help you gain some perspective and regulate that Jupiterian enthusiasm. First one, not everyone is ready to expand. Not everyone is here to expand. Some people are here to cause other people's expansion by being annoying. People evolve at different paces and in their own time. Something you can say to yourself as a way to reference this: your ability to see someone's highest potential doesn't obligate them to take any action toward this awareness. Self-regulation practice. Incorporate the following habits into your communication style. Then, when someone does want your advice, it will have more impact. 1. Ask permission to share. If you notice a gap between someone's current state and their potential higher state, ask if they're open to some feedback. Now, this may be different if you're a supervisor at work or you're in charge of a group of people and feedback is part of your role. That would be a different situation. But if you're just hanging with friends or in a group setting and people are just there, they may not want some feedback. 2. When offering solicited feedback, be sure to state this as your observations and opinions and not frame them as truth. Your ability to see a different level of quote-unquote potential for others doesn't automatically make it more valid or significant than where they currently are or where they seem to be heading in their own journey. Also, since the journey of your Pleiadian Jupiter includes things like learning to regulate your enthusiasm and govern your expressive energy, as well as creating sustainable energy sharing, you may find some helpful crossover tips in the following videos from this series as well: Pleiadian Mercury, Pleiadian Mars, and Pleiadian Saturn. These videos will be linked in the description or pinned comment. Transit timing. Following a variety of transits for your Pleiadian Jupiter could be an interesting exercise for you, but here are a few points to consider. First, conjunction. During most conjunct alignments, your Jupiter could feel a surge of energy, which is great for personal expansion, launching your own projects, or enhancing hobbies or other interests. But for learning how to harness and focus the more exaggerated side of this placement, I encourage you to tune into the square and opposite alignments as a way to practice discipline around these energies. Here's why. Squares will provide enough tension to rein in your Pleiadian Jupiter so you can pause and assess some more tempered or appropriate actions, especially when dealing with others. Opposite alignments can cause you to find a middle point and get more creative in how you proceed. Don't think of having to govern your boundless enthusiasm as a barrier. Think of it as a creative challenge that will ignite your clever ability to propose interesting growth opportunities within a set of given parameters. Okay, your turn. So what house does your Pleiadian Jupiter live in? Or what are some strategies that you've developed over time that help you rein in your Pleiadian Jupiter? Drop a comment below, and thanks for watching.